that there is a lot of health issues that people and planet face together because the world is contaminated with products which are filled with toxins.
So there is no future where BHRSA has its own products.
There is, definitely.
Why is it allowed in the first place? Right? If I know this is carcinogenic, why is it in my shampoo? If I know it is carcinogenic, why is it in my food?
Microplastics are found in human testicles.
Kind of scary.
Very scary.
Very scary.
I started getting lumps here near the jaw and neckline. And there was a false diagnosis that I might be getting cancer.
What's one important truth that you believe in that not a lot of people alongside you believe in?
We believe that there is a lot of health issues that people and planet face together because the world is contaminated with products which are filled with toxins. So I think this is the truth that we firmly believe in, but is very difficult to educate people about because it's overshadowed with, money making, business, advancements. So this is the truth.
What exactly are you doing in order to promote this truth to the world so that they can also believe it with you?
At this moment, the initiative or the organization that we have begun with is BHRSA. So BHRSA.com is a marketplace, Indian marketplace, wherein we bring together all lifestyle products which are low tox. So when I say lifestyle, food, your personal care, home care, pet care, everything that people use day in and day out in their house to reduce their exposure to toxins inside their home environment. But here, there is a larger thought because if in a plot of 100 houses, if 90 houses start using low tox products, where is the demand? The demand is in low tox products. So why will a factory of a detergent which is filled with toxin be set up? There will be entrepreneurs or governments or policies looking towards low tox detergents and having factories of that. So our aim is to better the health of people as well as environment because it's very seamlessly interconnected.
Shwetha, I think a large part of this has to do with awareness. As you said, I think if you go and interview people, 8 or 9 out of 10 people will say that we want products that are low tox. But they are not aware of what toxins exist in the everyday products that they use.
Yes.
And it is again that whole thing of what is convenient and what can I get easily rather than this will take me so much more effort and I don't know about this and this effort seems very daunting. So how do you get people to get aware of the fact that okay, this is your everyday consumption, this is the amount of toxins you are intaking, your family is intaking, your children are intaking, and that is when you can even get this conversation started.
That is very true. I think that would be a very convincing factor for people to look into and adopt low tox products. But today, we are a bootstrapped startup and we are at our humble beginnings. We do not have the inexhaustible resources like an MNC to place our products at every nook and corner so that a customer does not even have to bend down to pick up the product. We do not have that luxury. So what we are doing is working on awareness. So BHRSA.com is a marketplace, as I mentioned, but there are a lot of other platforms, socials that we use to educate people and create this awareness. We recently launched YouTube podcast wherein we are working on bringing experts who understand the importance of clean products and educate people about it.
If you were to plug in your podcast, what's the name of the podcast and how can I find it?
BHRSA Health Podcast. It's on YouTube.
So that's BHRSA, BHRSA.
Yes. Yes, Brisha it's a word we have picked up from Sanskrit and it means abundance. So the meaning translates very well to what our aim is to convey to people, that there is abundance of resources available in nature for our everyday existence and thriving. But instead we go choosing for the heavily marketed synthetic products which are actually harming our health.
The reason why synthetic products are in abundance at the moment, which we call scale in economics, is because, in my opinion, they are easier to manufacture, they are easier to put on shelves, they don't expire faster, they are easier to get to a mass population very, very quickly.
Yes.
Is any of my opinion here incorrect? Because the other side of this opinion becomes that naturally born products would either not have a very nice shelf life, they might be very difficult to scale and produce at scale and get to the masses very, very quickly.
Yeah.
Would you have to say about that?
I would like to add a fifth point: cost.
Yes.
Okay. If I forget anything, you'll have to repeat. Okay. So I'm sure you have seen those finally released research articles wherein they said microplastics are found in human testicles.
Kind of scary.
Very scary.
Very scary.
It is the truth of today. It is found in womb. It is found in placenta. So a lot of children are being born with congenital issues.
What does that mean? Congenital?
When they are born, there is a birth defect. Yeah, and most children, they have a lot of behavioral issues as they are born and in the very young age, and these are direct implications of the environment that we have done today. And you are absolutely right in saying that synthetic products do not degrade easily. From the time plastic was manufactured, each bit of plastic exists on this earth. It has not gone anywhere, except for the ones which are incinerated, because that would add into the air pollution. And in between there was a lot of cries that ozone layer is depleting, the UVA, UVB rays are coming through too much, skin cancer. So those are effects of the burning. So it is high time for humans to think what these many years of oil industry and byproducts of oil has impacted the earth and our health. Because all these synthetic products that you're talking about are byproducts of oil. Now, you are definitely right in saying that natural or low tox products, they do not have the shelf life like the synthetic ones do. And that is how nature is. That is the beauty of nature, right? So if a wood falls down in a forest, at least now the forest department emphasizes that the wood should not be taken out from the forest. Now we have to think, what is the reason? Because the wood serves as food to small insects, and then it decays. It mixes into the soil. It enriches the soil even after its death. So this is the beauty of natural. But what would happen if a plastic pole had fallen? Nothing. It will stay there. Maybe a few wasps may use it for building houses if it has an opening, right? But nothing more than that. So it's a dead material. So anything that has life, it's very natural for its birth, death, regeneration. So synthetic products, the natural products, in a similar way, they do their purpose. Let's say it's a uptan that I'm using for, bathing. It serves its purpose of cleaning my body, and then it goes down the drain, and then it goes into the soil or water and does not harm any aquatic being or does not degrade soil.
Are you saying my shampoo is harming aquatic beings?
Yes, of course, definitely.
How so?
Okay, so bioaccumulation is the gradual accumulation of substances such as pesticides or other chemicals in an organism. And this has been happening from a long time. So today when we say the water bodies are polluted, today when we say, there is a rise in mercury level in fish consumption is, it's not looked at as in a healthy way. Although the fish oils are great, but the fish also carries toxic substances that it has eaten or consumed because of our negligence. Our factories throwing out, highly polluted untreated wastewater, or our shampoos and our floor cleaners. What do you do with floor cleaner? We say at BHRSA, if you can't use your floor cleaner to water your plants, then are you sure it is safe for your home? Today, the people who have pets will know the amount of allergies that pets are getting. Are they supposed to get that many allergies? Dogs or cats, they have great immunity level and they have great healing capacity. Cats are known to just lick their wounds and heal themselves. But they are losing that capacity because of us, because they live in our environment which is filled with toxins. People run to the vets, bring in a lot of medicines to their cats and dogs, but not once they think of changing floor cleaners, reducing fragrances in their house, the perfume, right? So it's definitely harming. Research comes out or does not, we firmly believe it is harming, and it's definitely, I think, wise of people to consider this possibility and work on, removing those toxins from your house and having a clean environment.
Again, Shwetha, I think the point comes down to awareness. How many people whose pets are sick think that, oh, this might be my floor cleaner that is making my pet sick?
Yes.
My pet is sick, go to the vet. The vet gives medicine. And again, I, as an owner, do not know that there might be some other reason that this sickness is happening.
Yeah.
My vet might not know what's happening at my house. So
Yes.
is that the awareness, we keep coming back to this same point, and I feel like it is already gotten a little circular here.
No.
I also feel that a lot of our education is given to us when we are younger. And now we are entering a generation where it is a second generation enjoying the privileges, right? Even our parents have enjoyed houses now, floor cleaners now, and like painted walls now, right? So this knowledge has not been passed on to our generation. We won't be passing it on to, our progeny either. So it's a difficult problem to think of, and it is increasing. So what can be done? What's the solution here?
I'll just take you back as to how I understood about this problem. Because, see, I have been like any normal person who was enjoying all these privileges. But I had a lot of health issues. And day in and day out, when you end up at different doctors' offices without being able to find the root cause, finally, during 2021 peak COVID time, I started getting lumps here near the jaw and neckline. And there was a false diagnosis that I might be getting cancer. So even today, it's very, I get scared to use the cancer word. So I say that, there were a lot of health issues and close the chapter. But it came to a point of life and death. And at that situation, what was told to me by advanced medical system was, let's wait for 2 months so that it grows. Then we can confirm if it is a cancer and then begin the treatment. When someone has an issue, we want a solution. We want to treat it. Nobody wants it to grow so that it becomes an unmanageable situation, right? But this is our medical system, sadly. And For many things like diagnosis, it is definitely needed. But what people are missing is preventative healthcare. So when I say preventative healthcare, and when you spoke about education, India previously had Gurukula system of education, right? And in Gurukula system of education, there were practical knowledge taught to children, herbal knowledge taught to children. Now all of this is missing in our education because all of us are educated in a westernized school thought. So if you look back into history, there were a lot of art forms, martial art forms that have been uprooted, or a generation of teachers eliminated from the British so that the knowledge could not be passed down to the next generation. And this has happened even with our schooling system, sadly. And today, while people argue that, science is more important, science, if it doesn't have a scientific backing, it's not valid. If they look into the workings of our traditional Ayurvedic or herbal system, they will find science. It's just that for a debate, there is always, no agreement.
But when you have a population of 1.3 billion people, there is not enough cow poop and bird poop.
No, Pa. See, that is a small vision that we look at.
Okay.
So what is happening today on farmers' side, I'm from an agricultural background. The soil is becoming dead. If 5 years back they had to use one bag of, whatever thing to the soil, today if they have been using from 5 years, today they need 10 bags. The soil is dead. The crop that is produced is dead. How will you not get health issues?
So you talk about traditions being lost and going back to the study of herbology and things that we had passed down in the Vedas and all the texts and the stuff that we get passed down. But the issue is none of these were formally written. They were always passed verbally. So there is no record of it, which is why a lot of people don't know this exists. So there was a random claim that Newton's 3 laws were discovered by some rishi 500 years before Newton, and there are these random claims that keep coming out. And I think we've reached a point today where me personally, I'm like, I don't know how much of this is true. Therein you have the question of, okay, if this does exist, how do we find it? Like we had an episode with these guys who were trying to build alternatives to paint because they say paint is poisonous, so they're using cow dung and certain other recipes that again they say comes down from our history to use. And I say, okay, where is this history? Where are you getting this history? How are you ratifying the fact that this in fact was history? And if you're getting it, why the hell aren't other people?
My granny used to make a mixture of cow dung, haldi, and few other things, and sweep the veranda. So basically, today what we have as a portico, which is cemented blocks, would be this mixture. So the veranda would be light brown. But the beauty of it is, in heavy mosquito season also, the mosquitoes entering the house, because the house was in the center, would be very less. Now, how do I know this information? Because I had the privilege of growing up with grannies and seeing what they do. But do other people know? They don't. And just yesterday I saw a billboard which said Breakfast of India featuring Nutella jar with Puran Poli. Now, today's, I don't know, Gen Alpha kids, if you ask them what is Breakfast of India, they'll say Nutella and Puran Poli because that is shown to them. They don't know the history. And you are right that most written records in India, not everywhere, because you might know of Nalanda University. Nalanda University they say is a gem that is lost, because that place had a lot of written records by people, because there were sections of categories of people. The writers were segregated at one place, like today's Oxford University, right? They were segregated at near around Nalanda University or other universities. And the rest of the people, so I am from Mangalore. Our regional language is Tulu. And in our native, people usually use folklore songs. We call it Pardana. And unless the new generation learns it, it is lost.
I have a different view on this, and there is no intent to attack.
Open to discussion.
I believe that change is a constant.
It is.
When these folklore were written, at that time it was new discovery. At that time it was some new information that humanity had come across, and now they were willing to pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
But before that, there must have been something else which had now been superseded by this. And our current knowledge base is something that has superseded whatever we knew at that time. Whether it is
That's true.
good, whether it is bad,
Ha.
whether it is sustainable, whether it is not sustainable, is a question that we consistently ask ourselves. But even when I talk about your products, when I talk about BHRSA being an online marketplace, right? All of that is possible because of the progress that humanity has made now. All of
Yes.
us being able to talk, us being able to run a podcast is progress that has been made by humanity today. Energy by itself, creating dams, damages the aquatic wildlife, but it is what gives us electricity.
Yes.
We keep making these, imbalanced.
This is a good discussion brought about, because this is not a debate. Progress is necessary. Advancements are necessary. You are absolutely right in saying, how we get electricity, how the mode in which we are able to communicate today, all of that. The problem is when not one, hundreds of people are being affected in a negative way, because in the hurry of making the progress or advancement, you're not considering the pros and cons. That is a problem.
So let's make it simpler. Let's make it simpler for the viewer, right? I am a very health conscious person. I used to weigh a lot more than I weigh now, at least like 60, 70 kgs more than I weigh now. I have lost a lot of weight, and my way of looking at food has completely transformed. Every package that I lift off of a marketplace, I read the ingredients first. I read their macro ingredients first. I read their nutrition first, and what has been put inside that is going to go inside my body. Even if I'm to consume something unhealthy like an ice cream, I'll see how many ingredients does the ice cream have. Is it a 5-ingredient ice cream, which is milk, sugar, some flavoring? Or is it some TXN903357 stabilizer nonsense that's there, right? Since you're working in this field, how can we make better decisions? What ingredients can we look for that might be damaging to us, that are a complete no-no? For me to at least start off into this journey and then go deeper into the rabbit hole.
See, we deal with food, your personal care, home care products. So the range of products is a little diverse. Now, the first and foremost thing that we request all our customers or non-customers to do is read the ingredients, because not the front of the package. That's a marketing board. Turn back and read the ingredients, hoping that the regulatory bodies have done a check that the ingredients are listed out transparently. Okay, that is the first step. Second is, as you told, the more natural the ingredient list is, the better. So, for example, if you consider sugar, today, because people are talking a lot that sugar is bad, you know what the manufacturers are doing? They are using alternative words for sugar. right? So there is n number of ways customers can be conned. And Brisha, I think today what we are doing is coming in between as that filter. So we check the ingredients for you and then list it on Brisha. So if a brand ABC has 10 products, you will not find all the 10 on Brisha. If they are not meeting up the positive health effect for us, for the consumers, for the environment, then it's not listed on Brisha. So this is what we are doing. And to start off, see, I can give you a few component names that should not be in the ingredient. But honestly, there are more than 200, 300 such components. So how much will you remember?
But Shwetha, why do I trust you? Why do I trust that when I go to Brisha, the things that I'm going to get are already filtered?
Yeah.
And what is your filter for them? That's what I wish to understand.
Got it. Brisha has come through from a personal pain point, and it's not looked at as just a business. I know it's a very trust factor, point to say, and in today's world, anybody will ask, like, why should I trust you? But I have gone through a lot of issues myself, and one of the intention with which I even started this journey, leaving my corporate career, was that I wanted nobody to go through the pain that I went through. So that intention is very pure, and that is what we carry through in this organization. And the filtration level, again, like, we are not scientists, but we are good at research. So that is our USP. And each product, each ingredient is looked into before the listing. And I'll give you an example. Today, as of today, we have no hair conditioner on Brisha because we have not found one. So we are that honest. If we don't find one, it's not there on Brisha. I recently got a haircut, and in beauty parlors, they'll get a commission if they sell a product. So this lady was really nice, and then she was like, your hair is very dehydrated, you should use a conditioner, which is true because I've not been using conditioner for really long because I've not found one. And she brings in a conditioner, and I turn and I look into it. So there is an ingredient, dimethicone and phthalates, 2 components, and they are carcinogenic, cancer causing. Now she does not know, she is innocent, customer is innocent, but she will recommend it because it's on their shelf. Now people are not aware of it, but she highlighted the issue that my hair is very dehydrated. Now I came back and I was like, okay, what can I do? Because even on Brisha we don't have a conditioner. So then I looked into what natural ways we can do something. Flaxseed. Just boil flaxseed and store it for 1.5 weeks. You can use it as a conditioner, and I've done it. This is my third hair wash, and I've done it. So that transparency and that honest we are in our operations, I think if that does not bring trust, I don't know what will. So we look at it more than just a money making platform. We really care.
Shwetha, this sounds very great. You get an alternative like flaxseed to conditioners that you have been looking for. That's amazing.
There is effort. I know you're coming to that.
There is tons and tons of effort. Nothing comes easy. However, there is this very famous saying, especially this is for people who are trying to lose weight or eat healthy. They say, oh, skim milk is more expensive than full milk. Or bread that gluten-free bread is more expensive than regular bread. So with everything that is supposed to be beneficial to you, it is a lot more expensive than the stuff you're getting on a daily basis. What is the pricing like on Brisha? How do the products that you guys list compare to those that people would be using on a regular, unaware basis?
This notion is stuck in people's mind that, if you go for organic or natural, it is expensive. But in truth, it is not the case. One example that I can give you is floor cleaners, right? If you use one bottle of bioenzyme, you're going to use a tiny 4 or 5 drops in a huge bucket of water. It's not. You have to see the amount of time that product will come to you versus the normal conventional product. So on Brisha, we are mindful of making products available to all people, all strata of people. But it is a challenge. One, because organic or natural products are not easy to find today, because our core, that is soil, air, water, is polluted to a large extent. So we have to really find at people who are trying to keep good practices alive and bring good products forward. Having said that, one example is bamboo toothbrush that I can give. Initially, when we listed one bamboo toothbrush, it was almost like 160 rupees. Normal people will not pay 160 rupees for a toothbrush, which you'll use for probably 6 months, 8 months, right? Then we knew the concern. So we had to, do more research and find someone who makes it available at 60 rupees. So today we have bamboo toothbrush at 60 rupees as well as 160 rupees. So we are continuously finding partners who provide these value or quality products at different price ranges. And this also answers your question of scalability. These products are not as scalable as synthetic products. So the only alternative is finding people who produce, similar products. Example, ghee, right? Ghee from happy, healthy cows is very different from ghees made from cows which are tied in a shed of 100 cows, which is in its susu potty, not going out and eating grass. These two ghees are very different. So one alternative is finding more people who are actually taking care of cows in a good environment and are making ghee in traditional way. So that's how we can cater to more people. And one of the uniqueness of Brisha is we are not shy to say product is out of stock. Product is seasonal. Because if the products are available all around the year, we really have to question, are they healthy? So we are not shy to say, hey, it is out of stock. Hey, this product is seasonal, so it's available only during this time to this time. Because our goal is to provide the best quality product for a person.
Shwetha, I want to ask you something going on from this. Marketplaces as a whole run very heavily on the discount game.
Yeah.
Someone gets their daily groceries from Zepto because it's offering them a better price than Blinkit or than Big Basket or than Sweet. There are so many alternatives today.
Yeah.
The entire marketplace game is to sell and add a certain commission to that so that you're selling more, so that you are making money.
Yeah.
So how is Brisha making money out of this? I understand what you're doing is amazing.
Yeah.
And we live in a world today where the amazing doesn't often lead to money.
True.
So where is Brisha making money? How is Brisha making money? Is Brisha making money?
We are at a very initial stage and we are not at the, money making game yet. I'll be honest about it. Because today, if a partner has to list their products on, let's say, most popular is Amazon. Amazon has at least 4 to 6 different fees, 15%, 30%, 20%. It almost reaches 100%. But at BHRSA, we are a startup and we bring in a lot of, even small homegrown businesses which are really good, we bring them in. So to be fair to everyone, we operate at a very minimal deal discount. And having said that, the discount game is also not very high, because here our margin is also very low, because we want to be fair to our partners and even help them stabilize their business. So we are working at a fair game, a very initial stage to be making money. But hopefully in the future, if people adoption is more on the platform, maybe then we can talk on the money terms and see how to sustain the business longer and do better work.
So, on that note, do you think it was the right time to start your business? Because if you don't have the money in order to market everything, and you cannot like go head to head with somebody like an Amazon,
Yeah.
but you don't wish to charge the fees of somebody like an Amazon, who are charging those fees so that they can upkeep the kind of marketing that they do and upkeep the kind of services they provide, it becomes kind of a downward spiral for you.
Yes.
So, was it the right time to start your business now?
So, right after my surgery, because I 80% of the symptomatic health issues I had healed by my own with adoption of holistic wellness practices. At the end of it, I had a 7-centimeter fibroid in the uterus, which needed a surgery. So post surgery is where I made a decision to start BHRSA. And through my healing journey of 1.5 years, when we finally sat down to build a website, we saw that there are a lot of different marketplaces, which was not there 1.5 years back. So it was not a right time even then, but as I told you, BHRSA is not just a platform that we see just for business. It's more driven by care. It was a hard decision to start it and to give 100% to it, because at the end of it, of course, I learn if it worked or if it did not work and what else can I do. But I just look at it as a learning journey, because my ultimate interest from here on would be to educate people on health, how their health and environment's health is interconnected. Because today, a lot of people in IT, on the weekends, they'll be like, oh, let's volunteer, let's plant trees. They don't even know what trees they're planting. They're not even planting native trees. They're planting trees which is degrading the soil. And when you can just sit at home, use the right products and heal nature, do you see the seamlessness? Just using a good floor cleaner, which is clean, just using a shampoo, which is clean, you are healing nature. So the occasional volunteering that you think, you started from your home. This is the education that we want to provide, and this way or other way, that is what I'll be working on.
Shwetha, education is a very
Tough.
very time consuming, very money consuming game. And it is a game where you cannot measure results.
Yeah.
We speak so often about how flawed exams are in school and how each kid is not fairly tested on the basis of a written exam. We talk about standardized tests and everything. So education as a whole cannot be tested.
Yes.
How are you going about education? How do you know it's going to be effective? What is your plan there?
As you told, can't be measured. So how do we know it's effective? We don't know. Adoption is the only way for us to measure. If some group of people we educate keeps coming back to BHRSA for their daily lifestyle products, we understand that this person has at least understood what we are talking about. Apart from that, is there a measure as of today? I don't think so. In terms of how we go about education, So Brisha.com is a marketplace. That is a place where you find alternative products. But Brisha's socials, our YouTube podcast, our association with on-ground NGOs, working with them, volunteering. These are places where, we try our best to raise awareness.
Shwetha, why didn't you go one step further? And what I mean by that is today I want to buy a floor cleaner, right? The lady who comes in the morning to help me clean up my house, food, and everything else, she's the one who will recommend, please buy this floor cleaner so that we can keep the house nice, right? She'll say Harpic because that's the one she knows. Or she'll say, buy this Vim as the thing to clean the dishes. And I tell her, maybe we could get something else, something more natural.
She'll not agree.
She's like, भैया मैं तो यही use करती हूँ. Or she'll be like, उसमें foam नहीं है. There is no froth in that, right? Yeah. And it is very difficult to butt your heads with someone who is actually the one using it. And that's where the whole education conundrum comes in, right? But education is difficult. Education in the business world is called marketing, and marketing needs money. If we are to keep that aside, another thing that could have been done, you're one step further, is why doesn't Brisha just have its own goods? Why doesn't Brisha just manufacture its own detergent, its own thing, and then I can just be like, let's buy Brisha. And then I can go to Zepto and buy Brisha, or I can go to Swiggy and buy Brisha, or I can go to XYZ 10-minute delivery and buy Brisha, instead of going to a marketplace and then waiting for a couple of days for a detergent that is needed now.
Why do you think the partners that are with us are not on Zepto and Blinkit and Swiggy?
Either it's very expensive or they don't have select customer base which is able to get to them. I understand. But again, the partners that are with us is a long sentence. On the other hand, Brisha Products is a very small sentence.
Yes. So when I started working, and I definitely had this option, and this was under discussion. Do I create my own line of products, or do I build a marketplace? Now, this is a very genuine reason because of which I chose marketplace. Zero waste is a concept. It's not a practicality. Even if a piece of wood has to be given some shape, there will be a waste generated. Now, because of my health journey, I place a lot of importance on health, but I am a conservationist and someone who really loves and adores nature and wants to preserve it by heart. And when I understood that zero waste is a concept, it's not something which is practical, now I had to make a decision. Do I need my own line, or do I bring this umbrella platform? Because there are so many people who are like me, working like me, who are not able to place their products on shelf or bring it to the forefront. Do I bring all of them together and have this platform?
Which problem is more important for you? Is it the problem of the world, or is it the problem of the small business who is not getting a platform? There has to be a pick.
Which do you think is
Both.
to identify with, rather than having 50, 100, 500 brands under one umbrella, which is Brisha,
and all the responsibilities with them for the product?
You are saying you're acting as the filter. You're saying we have tested these products, we have done extensive research and found alternatives which are healthy, but they're not your products. I am buying things on Brisha rather than from Brisha.
Either my vision should be competing with all these people, or my vision should be education so that people use any of these products.
Aren't you not competing with them, but competing with the ones with toxins?
Yes.
So the ones with toxins have a huge market share. The ones without have a very, very small.
Correct.
So why not, instead of competing with these guys, you compete with this one?
But I'll be competing with them as well as them. So now my goal is not that. My goal is not competing. See, at least not with them. My ultimate goal is people use any of the good products. It need not be Brisha products.
So there is no future where Brisha has its own products.
There is, definitely. But it will not be something wherein, you know, we start something from scratch and create waste. It will not be that. It will be some awesome products which are already happening somewhere in the nook and corner, which we will bring into the forefront.
If you were to name 4 products that if you were to find now, which are natural, which are toxin free, which satisfy all of the filters, what are 4 such products? Why I ask this is because our viewers wish to build businesses.
Yes.
So maybe they are the ones who can build a business with you.
Yes.
How can they transition into BHRSA marketplace and become a business by them?
See, I'll tell you 4 products which people heavily need to look into toxins and reduce their usage of, you know, products which are conventionally available.
Let's start with conditioners.
Conditioners, your floor cleaners, your dishwashers, and also shampoos. 4. People really need to change these products which they bring from, you know, nearby kiranas or your stores, because they are heavily filled with xenoestrogens, and it's not good for the health.
What is that?
So we call it low tox to simplify. Okay, we know that everything is chemical, because if I just say toxin, people will say everything is chemical, even water is chemical. We know. But what happens is when the chemical component is affecting your health in a negative way, then it's a toxin. Now, why I said xenoestrogen particularly is because these products have high component of estrogens. Okay, our body produces estrogen, a group of hormones, but when our estrogen receptors are exposed to these toxins continuous basis, our body's receptors pick up these estrogens, not our body's estrogens. So there is an increase of estrogen in the body, and in a very simple way, if I have to tell you what happens with increased estrogen in body, is our body starts creating lumps. It may be benign, it may be, you know, cancerous, but lumps outside the body, lumps inside the body are all an effect of increased estrogen in the body. And all these products that we spoke about contribute to increasing estrogen in our body, in our pet's body. These are xenoestrogens. And this is why it's important for people to shift to low tox products.
The question remains, if something is so bad for us, right, and I feel like you get this more often than we will, if something is so bad for me, why is it allowed in the first place? Right? If I know this is carcinogenic, why is it in my shampoo? If I know it is carcinogenic, why is it in my food? Why am I forced to look at ingredients? Why do I need to do this in the first place? Who owns the responsibility? It should not be with me.
If the paint in my house is toxic, why is that paint company the biggest paint company in India?
Why are they allowed to make it? Why are they allowed to supply it? Why should we be able to buy it?
I think this is a question for regulatory bodies, government, policymakers. Is money the only factor that is important? Is network and connections the only factor that's important? Are people's health important? These are questions to ask them. I'm nobody to answer. But through my health journey, I recognize that this is a huge problem. And people are exposed to it unaware. And that is where this company, which is operating from heart at the moment, has...
You have to believe me, I went to Walmart in Canada and I wanted to buy sour cream. So sour cream is a kind of dip. It is primarily, like in North America, it is fairly common.
Yeah.
On the shelf, there were at least 100 different sour cream companies. And my dad was with me in the Walmart. And I'm going there, I'm picking up each one, looking at the ingredients, and it's garbage, it's garbage, it's garbage, it's garbage, right? Out of the 100, I found one which had 2 ingredients. The rest of them were just like trash stabilizers that were being put into
Yeah.
my
So you asked me, are
Assuming that in this process that your dad must have been like, "Do just pick up one."
really confused. Then he asked me, and then he's like, Akhil, I have been eating so much of this garbage for 65 years of my life now.
So, see, I want to bring your attention to this point. You asked me, are the partners important for you because your margin is low and all that? This is exactly why the partners are important, because for that one person, I want them to be on BHRSA without having to try to explain to people that, my product is the actual OG good product for you. People can come with a lot of trust, and they can close their eyes and buy anything, and that's low tox, because any other marketplace is not operating like that.
But the sour cream was from Dairy Farm, and Dairy Farm is a huge corporation in the US. Okay, if a huge corporation makes a good product, can it get on BHRSA?
Yes, because what's most important for us is, even if it's a huge corporation, at the back end, how are the sources looked after? Dairy, so cows, how are they looked after? Because if their environment is happy, safe, see, there is a huge difference in an animal's hormones or the quality of milk it produces when it feels safe, when it's in a clean environment, rather than, as I told, a cow, hundreds of cows cramped up in its susu potty, its babies, as soon as they're born, taken away from it. This environment is detrimental to the cows, and it does not produce healthy milk. So even if it's a huge corporation, but if the way they look after the animals is good, and the treatment of the animals is fair, safe, and the ingredients does not have any unnecessary mixtures, then why not? It's a good product. But if the cows are not looked after well, the ingredient has some other mixtures, unnecessary ones, then no.
Shwetha, one takeaway from this, one product that each person, not household, but each person should be using or is using currently, which they do not know is bad for them and they should change immediately.
Okay. Which is on BHRSA or?
One product.
Okay. Floor cleaners. Floor cleaners. People do not realize how they affect. Every morning they use it. So I think, and even dishwashers, because I'll tell too. I'll tell the reason also, because see, we wash the plates after eating, and then we think the plate is clean, but they don't realize there is a thin film of the liquid or detergent that you're using to clean the plates on the plate. The next meal, dinner, you're putting in hot rice and you're mixing and you're eating, you're ingesting that toxin into your system. And then people say, मैं तो clean खाता हूँ, कैसे हुआ कैंसर मुझे पता नहीं. And
Guys, I think it is a no-brainer now.
stigma with, foam, as you rightly said. People think their toothpaste must foam, their dishwasher must foam, their floor cleaners must foam. Foam is added so that you see the foam and it's a feel-good factor. It's not doing anything.
I think it's the marketing.
It is.
Soap commercials, it's foam. I remember Lifebuoy, that commercial of them washing their hands, or doctors that they ever show you in the TV shows, that like scrubbing up, like foam is coming. So you associate foam to clean.
Yeah, the babies playing with foams in the bath. No?
Yeah. Bubble baths as they
Bubble
call
bath,
them.
See, BHRSA is operating from heart. You rightly spoke about that. But see, one more thing that really bothers me is the future generation. People are losing sight of the kind of place that we are leaving for them. We really need to do better. I know our elders did not, but should we continue the same way is a question to ask.
Guys, on that note, I think it is a brain dead decision if you don't use BHRSA to buy at least your floor cleaners and your dishwashers.
And
If
your
not,
shampoos and your conditioners.
there's no conditioner.
At the moment, there's no conditioner, but there is flaxseed.
But if not everything else, please fix your health. Please fix the health of future generations.
Please read the ingredients of the stuff that you buy and you consume.
And please like this video if you got anything out of it.
And go visit brisha.com, that is BHRSA.com.
Yeah. Before you end, I want to say something else. The future generation or your child can be healthy only if you are healthy. So take care of your health and environment first. Because when we say future generation, it becomes a mass, and then you don't care about the mass. But think about your child.
So, Shwetha, we have come to the part of the podcast where we have a question that has been left behind for you.
Okay.
We would like you to answer that and leave a question for the next founder. The question for you is, with all the heart, how are you going to survive the next 9 months?
Like I survived today. But the question is in terms of being an entrepreneur, surviving 9 months.
Yes, how are you going to survive the next 9 months?
We have a few goals set up for every 3 months, not 9 months. We don't 9 months is a long time, no? So we set for 3 months, survival in 3 months. So of course, sustenance of business is important, and when we are running a business which is bootstrapped and through the heart, the only way we can sustain is make sure that BHRSA reaches more people, the revenue sales increases, the awareness increases, people talk about it and tell their friends and say, hey, check this website out, this is what they do. So that is what we are working towards, from our socials, from associating with guys like you. So this is what we are doing, and that is how we look at sustenance.
And you have your question?